Are you ready? Are you ready? Woo! How we doing? Good day. You enjoyed yourselves? Goodbye. Promotion. How are we doing, everybody? Welcome back to the One Leeds Star. Shut up, Steve. Get out. Jeremy, get out. Bad sound, is it? Okay. Well, apologies. Can you hear me a little bit at all? At all? At all? What about now? What about now? Any chance? Is this a little bit better? Is this a little bit better? This has been the worst start to a stream ever, but I'm not bothered because we're in the Premier League. Better now? Are we a bit better now? Chris, what are you saying to me? Do you want to reload? Reload? Okay. Let's go. Here we go. Yep. Woo. Here we go. Go to the chat. Yeah. Premier League. 56,000. See the stadium. 200 million. We go now. Right, well, that sound is made worse, apparently. So, how are we doing, everybody, anyway? What is going on in the comment section below? Let us know. We're back with another stream. Here we go. Let me know as well. Apparently, you guys are really not enjoying the music today. Really not enjoying the music. Hold on, let me just hear it. Is it that bad? Is it that bad right now? Hold on. There we go. It's better with it off, isn't it? It's better with it off. Sorry, guys. It was better yesterday. How are we doing anyway? That could be the worst start. If you're still here, hello, welcome. I'm still on the train, as I'm sure you can imagine. I'm just adjusting the roadcaster right now. What is going on, everybody? Yeah, sorry, man. It's an external device giving me a little bit of feed. But here we go. What's going on? You all right? Is everything okay? Yeah, we're back talking Leeds United. I wanted to speak about something today, everybody, on the back of promotion yesterday. Let me say that again, on the back of promotion yesterday. Let me say that again on the back of promotion yesterday. Paul says, are you having a day off today? I was, and then I realized that we won 6-0 yesterday. And then I'm looking on my feed, I'm looking on everything else, and I'm like, Leeds United have been promoted, baby. They've been promoted. And I just want to enjoy the moment. And I want to enjoy it with you guys. I really, really just, maybe tomorrow, maybe an off day tomorrow. I'm going to have a couple of days off at some stage. But I'm just enjoying myself. I'm really, really enjoying myself right now. It's been a great period. It's been unbelievable. I've really enjoyed yesterday. My missus is absolutely loving it. She's like, do you want to go out for some food tonight? Should we go out for some food? I'm like, yeah, let's go out for some food. Leeds are promoted, baby. Let's get that jazz song going. Yeah, I'm not going to do it again. I don't know what's going on with the machine. But there we go. But yeah, I am just enjoying it. I'm enjoying being a Leeds fan now. So yeah, 6-0. Pressure makes diamonds, baby. And that was just unbelievable yesterday. Absolutely unbelievable. So I wanted to come on here as well. And you know, we've had it in the Patreon WhatsApp chat today. And the Patreon WhatsApp chat is mega. If you guys want to get involved in the Patreon, links in the description below. But the Patreon chat, everybody is talking about next season. You're having Man United posting about us next season as well already. Yeah? I'm going on social media today and seeing Manchester United. No post about Burnley, just Leeds United. Oh, look at the look at the last times we came up against Leeds United, because that's kind of all they can post, really. Because if you look at it this season, they're probably going to end up finishing in 17th. It's looking the bottom three sides are what the bottom three sides are. But I wanted to take a look at if I'm honest with you, the state of next season. Leeds, in my opinion, there's two ways we need to talk about this. I don't want to get into it too much, but there seems to be this mass interest in it. Instead of enjoying the moment, people want to talk about next season. So I just want to touch on it slightly, but not that much, because I really am enjoying the moment, as you can tell. But next season, right? We are going to be, in my opinion, in a much better stead than, obviously what Farke was in the previous campaign, of which, they spent 30 million quid, I think, did Norwich. But there's a conversation about Farke on a different day, of course. But this whole nonsense that Leeds are going to go up and automatically are going to get relegated. Why? Well, because it's the last two seasons. But there's no context. What about the third to last season, where all three teams stayed up? Obviously, we went down, Leicester went down, Southampton went down, but only 3 seasons ago, you had all the 3 teams coming up, staying up with the right recruitment. You look at Marco Silva, you look at Thomas Frank, fantastic managers who've adapted their styles from the Championship to the Premier League. They've got more technical midfielders in their side. Sander Berger been the key example for Fulham, but they've gone up. They've recruited really well. They've adapted their styles to not just be a free-flowing attacking system, which Frank was in the Championship, which Silva was in the Championship. They've adapted to be a more defensive side with counter-attacking tendencies, and they've survived, and now they're on the precipice of Europe. You look, or the cusp of Europe, I should say. You look at Nottingham Forest, lucky. Obviously, bringing as many players in as they did, they didn't care. They just thought, right, we'll do this. We'll take the points deduction, whatever. We will stay up. And they did that. And they did it really, really well. And look at where they are right now, okay? Aston Villa, saved by Hawkeye, okay? That was an anomaly. But you look at what they've been able to build. There's hope there. I'm just getting absolutely sick already. My team has just been promoted less than 24 hours ago, and the naysayers are already online. We're already getting relegated. There's no chance. There's no chance in hell. Do you know what I mean? You've got no chance in hell. Shout out Vince McMahon prior to the charges. But yeah, I just think it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. We're going into a period of time right now where we should all be excited. The rumour mill's going to be starting. We've got a lot of players to recruit in. Of course we have. We've got a lot of key positions to recruit in. Like, come on, we're not stupid. Of course. We're not idiotic. And the likelihood is Leeds will go down. But let's not write us off. Let's not write us off right now. The team above us, like Wolves and West Ham, I'm not just looking at these teams as if they're like, Avengers. We can catch these teams. It's Premier League. It's Leeds United, for goodness sake. Have we not got any lofty ambitions of being above West Ham and Wolves? And that's no disparaging comment on West Ham and Wolves, by the way. But I think if Leeds just have a good season with good recruitment, with good adaptation to the Premier League, and it's not all that simplistic, but if we're able to do that for at least a season, I think we can finish above these teams. If we're able to go out there, it's not like Wolves have been mesmeric when it comes to recruitment and stable nature in the Premier League for the past 3 to 4 years. The exact same with West Ham. To be fair, though, with West Ham, it's probably been a bit of a lowly season for them. They've won a European Championship, haven't they? Which is unbelievable and something I could only dream of as a Leeds United fan. But, the expectation has just been completely quelled, in my opinion, by, and shout out Football Martin, who I know is in here, who is a massive Saints fan and does a lot of really good coverage as well. But I know there's a lot of Saints, and I think Joe Corby as well in here is a Leicester fan. But there's a lot of people in here who it's just almost like, it's a closed shop. But it's not really, because you've gone up, and Leicester and Southampton have been, quite frankly, pathetic. They've been absolutely pathetic. And I know Martin and I know Joe would probably admit that. The recruitment, I like El Canouse. I have to be honest, for Leicester, I think he's a top player. I think Buonanotte was a really lovely player in their system as well. But it's not been good enough. It's not been good enough across the board. So what's the expectation right now? Is the expectation just, because right now it's substandard. We're talking about Southampton not being able to get anything above Derby in terms of a points haul. Leeds United, in our drabbest phase in the Premier League, have got a much more significant points tally than what those two teams have got. So Jesse Marsh and Grazia and Sam Allardyce, do you know what I mean? I just think that you actually get it right and you're sterner and you're more meticulous and you're more ruthless and you plan quicker and you get the transfers right. You get the manager right, of course, and it's not to say Farke shouldn't be given his opportunity, because he probably should be given his opportunity. I've always just said there's a grey area in terms of a short leash with Farke, because we can't let this go to 10 games and we're getting beaten in every single game, and that's not to say it will happen with Daniel Farke. The beauty about Farke is, my goodness, he's had 30 million quid shelled at him. My question for Norwich, you know, in terms of recruitment, my questions with Daniel Farke will be stubbornness, tactical inflexibility, and the utilization of certain players and rotation. They're the three things I'd be looking at with the gaffer, not about, you know, the money that's been spent on him. We can have a sensible conversation about the gaffer without involving sentiment, and we will do that later on down the line. But we all know what we need to do with regards to that, you know? But the players, I can see Leeds bringing in 8, 9, 10 players. I can see that happening. I can see, well, there's conversations already about a goalkeeper being done. We'll wait and see on that one. Also, shout out Birra Alpetti. If you want to sponsor the channel, One Leeds Fan channel, queries? But yeah, I just think there's like a whole host of and it's quite sad to see, really, because the Premier League should be a bit of an open book. And it's almost like, and I know it's social media, I completely understand this, I'm not an idiot, but social media, especially with these clubs, and a lot of them are like 10-year-old, you know, like virgins who've never like opened the curtains. I understand that, but who've got social media. But there's a lot of people who I'm seeing online who are genuine football accounts who are just like, yeah, they're not going to survive. They're not going to survive. I just think this whole the Sky Sports coverage in particular this season, and the coverage across the Premier League, has just been almost pointing in at, oh, we can't, you know, there's no chance, absolutely no chance. Bearing in mind, the ironic thing about all of this is that Sky have been the big problem here. The big problem is that, you know, the top 17 teams are breaking away and getting stronger and stronger and stronger every single season. And that would give, you know, almost credence to the fact that we can't compete. But I genuinely believe, when you're looking at 3 years ago, when you've got 3 teams who've been promoted, 3 teams who have been, they're outstanding, all of them. When you look at Forest, Bournemouth and Fulham, all of them right now, they've not just survived that year, they've survived the year after and the year after that. And all of them are top 10 sides right now. They are top 10 sides. So I just think we need to have a little bit more hope going into this, and it is backs against the wall. I completely understand that. It's not going to be a 9th place finish for Leeds United like it was with Bielsa. It's not going to be the sort of settings that we saw 5-6 years ago when Wilder was finishing 9th and Bielsa was finishing 9th. That's not going to happen. But us finishing 16th, 17th, beating all of our promotion rival, like promotion, you know, teams that go up, beating them home and away. That's a realistic standpoint. You know, us going up and beating Burnley with the proper recruitment home and away, us beating the other team that goes up home and away, and notching more wins on our belt for the rest of the season as well. I understand right now that you've got Ipswich, Southampton and Leicester, who the context has got to be applied with all of these teams. The context has got to be applied that they've got it wrong in each area. I'm giving a little bit of a pass to Ipswich, because Ipswich had a League One side, with the greatest of respect. They went up with a League One side and they had to recruit, but they gave a better fist of it than Southampton and Leicester, which is truly embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing, you know? So I think there's a lot that Leeds United can look at here. And I think there's a lot that we can take into next season. If we get it right, which Paraga said today, Paraga turned around and he said, look, we've been preparing for this moment for a long time. You know, I'm paraphrasing, of course, but we've been preparing for this moment for a long time. We are effectively ready for the Premier League. And I love that. I absolutely love that. I love that he's come out and said that as well. It broods confidence for me. And you've got to think as well, everybody, these guys haven't just come into Leeds United, Parag and the 49ers to be sat in the Championship. They haven't. They're ambitious owners. You look at the sponsorship deal we've managed to acquire this year in the Championship. 60 million quid with Red Bull. 60 million quid. Are you mad? Do you know what I mean? The biggest ever deal in the Championship. This is what Leeds can do. And do you know what? Burnley as well. Let's have a look at the defensive records, right? Leeds United, I'm going to whack this up now. I'm going to whack this up in terms of the Championship League table, okay? Let's all have a look at this. Goals, and there's context to be applied. And I want to shout out Burnley as well, by the way. Not just Leeds here, right? Championship League table, okay? Burnley have conceded 15 goals. Have conceded 15 goals. Leeds United have conceded 29 goals, right? And I have said, and I still firmly believe this, that of those 29 goals Leeds United have conceded, I firmly believe there are at least 13 to 15, if you're being kind, of those goals that can be attributed to Mr. Illan Meslier. And that's not to slag Illan Meslier off. Of course it's not. But I firmly believe, I think we all firmly believe as well, that if Leeds would have gone into this season and would have got their heads out their arses when it comes to a goalkeeper and not think that just a substandard goalkeeper is good enough because of our outfield players, we could have genuinely, that goalkeeper like Trafford and Michael Cooper and others has prevented goals, not just saved them goals, not just done the substandard, everybody, not just done the standard, I should say, of keeping goals out, but actually top saves that we've seen this season in the Championship from these two goalkeepers who will be in the Premier League. I know Trafford's going to be in there, but Cooper will be in the Premier League next season or the one after for a decent side. They've made top saves at this level and kept their teams in it. Cooper, when you look at Portsmouth away for Sheffield United, Trafford, even when you just look at Watford at the weekend, unbelievable saves of the other game week, I should say. So when you look at these goalkeepers, they've prevented it. So Leeds United, in my opinion, would have actually had a better defensive record than Burnley if it wasn't for Illan Meslier. And I think Burnley have done such an unbelievable job. But we've conceded less chances. So you've got two teams going into the Premier League with the greatest of respect, even though there's a fine line between us and Burnley. I think CJ Egan-Riley against Sheffield United yesterday won 31 out of 33 duels. That is unbelievable. Egan-Riley, Esteve, very good players. I think Connor Roberts, I don't think Connor Roberts is as good as Firpo. And I think when you look at Pires on the other side, there's a cat's cock air between him and Junior Firpo. Firpo, I think, would probably be the better fullback. Okay? So you look at this encompassed right now. There is not a big difference between Burnley and Leeds' defence. As I said, we've conceded less chances, but the big difference between the both is if we had Trafford and they had Meslier, I think it would be the exact same right now, or there would be more goals conceded by Burnley because I think we've got a better quality, in my opinion, defence overall, I think. Okay? Could be wrong. However, the overall point here is Leeds and Burnley go up with very good defences. Okay? And how does that transcend into the Premier League? Well, we'll figure it out, won't we? We'll figure it out and we'll wait and see. But the hallmark of, I think, in 2025, 2026, of going up to the Premier League and at least surviving is having a good defence, having a watertight defence. How many goals have we conceded since Caldalo's come in? One? And we're going to go and get a better goalkeeper next season. Okay? So I think that is the big context. And in these conversations, a shout out to Simon Jordan, who has actually backed Leeds up throughout the whole season and backed Burnley up as well. I'm just sick of this context of we've not got a chance. It's absolute rubbish. Why not? We've both got very good defences. We've got rid of our weakest link in Illan Meslier. And that's shown to be a massive confidence booster. And we're going to go out there and recruit a much better goalkeeper next season in the Premier League, hopefully who facilitates Daniel Farke's style of play. But if Farke's not there, he facilitates Leeds United's style of play. And he's just a good goalkeeper who can do the basics, but can also play out from the back, And Burnley as well have gone up with an opposing style to Vincent Kompany, which is just out and out football, and we won't adapt our style. You go with Russell Martin, you go with Vincent Kompany, and you decide not to adapt. That's what happens. You have to adapt in the Premier League. Can Daniel Farke do that? That's another conversation. That's another conversation for another day. But you've got to adapt. If you don't adapt, you're going down, right? But I think I've seen a better Leeds defence this season. I think Burnley's defence has been unbelievable. And Leeds United have adapted in the last, post-game week 39 by getting rid of the big problem in our defence in Ilan Meslier. That's the biggest thing we had to do all season. If we'd have done that on the 24th of October, after he did what he did against Sunderland, Leeds United would have been promoted, in my opinion, with record points. We'd have eclipsed Reading. I'm certain of it. I'm absolutely certain of it because of the points that we dropped through Ilan Meslier. So all of this is a positive because I think all of them, including us, and look, we'll wait and see what happens with the playoff teams. But it's not that long ago that you've had 3 teams staying up. And we suffered, Leicester suffered, and Southampton suffered. But this whole notion that there's no chance, we're all done already. Why? Let's have a specific look at what Ipswich had to do in terms of the overhaul of effectively a League One side. And they weren't able to do it completely, of course, but they gave a best fist of it, didn't they? And then you look at Southampton and Leicester. It's embarrassing. It is embarrassing what they've adapted to in the Premier League. Getting rid of Stevie Cooper, bringing Ruud van Nistelrooy. Look, what has that done? What has that done? Juric coming in for Southampton. Just embarrassing. Nothing. No impact. Nothing. Start of the season, Russell Martin not adapting. And there's more context to that. And Southampton fans will say there's more context. Leicester fans will say there's more context. I know that El Canouse, I think Buonanotte as well, when they've been in the Leicester side in particular, they've been really impressive. And they'll come down to the Championship and they'll blow it away. We all know this. But you can get up to the Premier League and you can do things. Don't get me wrong. It is changing every single year. It's getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Of course it is. But my goodness, is there no hope for Leeds United? I think theoretically that's wrong. I think logistically that's wrong. Leeds are going to go up with the might of the 49ers. We're going to go up and I think we're going to be aggressive. I think we're going to be tenacious in the market. I think we're going to get it done early, right? And I think that's how we should go about it. We should strategize this in a way of which it's going to be meticulous and we're going to get ahead of the rest, ahead of the pack. And people are going to look at Leeds and go, my Lord, that's an aggressive, strategic market approach. That's how I think it's going to go. But this whole closed market approach is absolute waffle. What you've got to be like as well, from a manager, in my point of view, you've got to look at Cooper at Forest when he had all those players in, but he had to adapt and kept them up. You've got to look at Marco Silva. You've got to look at Thomas Frank. Okay? All very, 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 very recent history. Very recent history. But for some reason, we're looking at Ruud van Nistelrooy and Ivan Juric or Russell Martin and Vincent Kompany. Russell Martin and Vincent Kompany in particular, who didn't adapt. You got to adapt. Got to adapt. You adapt, you give yourself a chance. This whole absolute rubbish that Leeds don't have a chance is already winding me up on the first day, as I'm sure you could sell. Anyway, cheers. After saying, I'm just going to enjoy the moment. And I am. I'm enjoying the moment. Look at the bucket app. I'm thoroughly enjoying the moment, everyone. I really am. Thoroughly enjoying it. And we'll be there next season, won't we? Dining out with the big boys. And I can't wait. But I had to get that off my chest. I think Simon Jordan's spot on. Well done, Simon. Well done. For backing Leeds and for backing Burnley and backing the bloody Championship and actually backing models in the second tier of English football, getting things right. This whole absolute, my French, bollocks of just because of the last 2 years and what's happened, the 6 teams have been relegated. Well, let's have a look at the preparation. Let's have a look at the investment. Let's actually apply some context. No, we won't apply context. I understand what's going on with the top 17 teams. But by God, imagine if the teams that are getting promoted actually have a meticulous strategy in place which keeps them up, which teams have done in the past 10 years anyway. It's more of an open shop that's been than that's been made out for me, 100%. Do we have adaptable players at this level? I think we do. And the big thing about Burnley and Leeds United is we've got very, very good defences. Very good defences. And we've got rid of the big, big open hole that was in our defence for me. Amy, thank you so much, Amy. And I hope you're doing well. Enjoy if you're on me. Premier League, here we come. That's right, Amy. Thank you all for your support. I really appreciate it. Amy's been in here from the very beginning. I really appreciate it. Jason and Tristan have become members. Dudley boy, here he is. Premier League ready for us. I can't wait. And fair enough. It's us against the world. It's us against the world. We're going to get cast off. We're going to get told that we're getting relegated. So we'll wait and see, won't we? We'll wait and see. But are we all expecting to get relegated? Yes. So anything more than that is an absolute bonus, isn't it? But I'm enjoying the moment right now. I just wanted to come in here and fight for my team a little bit. Do you know what I mean? I wanted to fight for us. This whole and it's social media in 2025, isn't it, everybody? But this whole notion that we're relegated already. We're relegated already. Get rid of us. We're not, not the fact that you've not even looked at our backers. You've not looked at how many players in our side, in my opinion, are Premier League ready, which I think we've got a fair few. Football's not linear. I've mentioned this several times. Players who haven't been playing this year, it doesn't mean that they can't adapt to the Premier League. And the strategy as well. Praga said today, and he's mentioned it several times before, that Leeds have been planning for a while. And that's evidenced as well by the 56,000-seater stadium, which Leeds are just ready to press the green button on. So, yeah, I just think I can't stand this nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Relegators already. Shut up. We're going to enjoy it, and I'm enjoying it right now. I'm enjoying it for the next week until we play Bristol City. And I think we can both stay in the Premier League, not just Leeds and not just Burnley. Let's wait and see who goes up in the playoffs. But Leeds and Burnley have done a massive, massive, massive bonus this season of having strong defences. And you look at Daniel Farke and you look at Scotty Parker, and fair play to the lads. Fair play, because they have prioritised defending. They prioritise being conservative. And I've criticised Farke a lot for that. I have. I've criticised Farke for being risk-averse. But when you look at the Premier League and how you've got to go up there, you can't go up like a Vincent Kompany. You can't go up like a Russell Martin. You just cannot do it. You cannot do it in 2025. And that's the respect we've got to put on the Premier League. But you go up and adapt like a Thomas Frank, a Marco Silva, a Stevie Cooper. You go up and do that, all relative to their own teams at that point. You go up and do that and you give yourself a chance. You get recruitment right. You give yourself a chance. This whole absolute bollocks that Leeds are relegated already is a joke. We're going up to the Premier League. We're absolutely loving it. Cheers to all you Leeds United fans. Cheer to all the other fans in the chat as well, by the way, who understand the dynamics of the Premier League. And if you get it right, you get it right and you stay up and you can build yourself a real foundation. Because I tell you what, everybody, if there's not hope in the world, if there's not hope in football, what's the point? What's the point in the Championship? What's the point in League One, League Two, Conference North? What's the point? Seal it off. They're relegated already. Seeing a bit Leeds, seeing a bit Burnley, seeing a bit whoever the playoff team is. Yeah. What's the fun in that? What is the fun in it? And we're not like that. We're big enough, we're old enough, we're ugly enough as Leeds United to know that we're going to come up and we're going to cause a disruption. And to the locked off teams, it's going to be a problem, in my opinion. I think the 49ers will get it right. I look at my team's recruitment this season in the summer and think it's been absolutely fantastic. I see us bringing in Jayden Bogle. Jayden Bogle for 5 million quid. I see Altanaka been brought in for 3 million quid. I see Joe Rodon been brought in for 10 million quid. And apparently these boys they're not going to be able to recruit for the Premier League with bigger expenditure brackets, with bigger exposure to the outside world, globalization, when it comes to agents and when it comes to players looking at Leeds now, but us being a more attractive proposition. Leeds United is that much of a bigger club. We brought in Rodrigo Moreno and Rafinha in, I believe it was our first season when we were promoted. What's going to happen this time? So we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. If you want to try and close us off, that's absolutely fine. But I don't think we're that club. And fair play to Burnley either. Craig says, Connor carrying off the Kevin and Perry look. Dude, I'm loving it. Hey, Connor, just starting to feel hungry after a heavy night and morning session off to McDee's, I think. Tony, my man, we're up together, brother. We're up together. And this is the thing for Burnley as well. I'm getting sick of it. I'm getting absolutely sick of already. And I've had a great night. I'm going to have a great night tonight. You guys know what's going to be happening. I don't care. It's a bit of celebration. It's been a mad period in terms of work for me. Guys, we're closing in on 1 million views across 24 days. 1 million views on the One Leeds fan channel. Unbelievable numbers, right? The work that has been put in from me, from other content creators. We've got loads of people lined up, but you know what? I'm just enjoying it right now. But I have to say, I got to come on and back my team. I got to come on and back him. I got to back the club. You know, we're at a period of time now, and I'm backing Burnley as well. I'm looking at Burnley and I'm looking at Leeds United. I'm looking at these defenses. I'm looking at how we set up this season. And I'm thinking, do you know what? We're adaptable. We're adaptable to this Premier League. Whether or not that's through Farke and Parker, I don't know. That's a different conversation for another day. But when you've conceded, 28 goals that Leeds have, they've conceded 15. We've conceded 28 goals with the greatest of respect, Apollo Mint in net. You've had Darlow come in, and the difference has been unbelievable. From what I understand, Leeds United are making progress. I'm not going to go on about this too much, but from what I understand, Leeds are making progress with a goalkeeper in the background. Okay? That's what I can tell you guys. I'm not going to go into specifics. I'm sure it will come out pretty soon. They're making massive progress. That's going to improve us significantly. Okay? And that's why we've got to look at it. That's why we've got to look at it. These people will have been strategizing for the Premier League last season. Never mind right now. Last season, they'll have been strategizing for the Premier League. Those plans will still be in place. They're talking about 56,500 bloody seat stadium. You think they've been talking about transfers? They've been talking about transfers for the past 2 years, 2, 3, 4 years. They'll have a blueprint, a short list. They'll have all of it ready, rocking and ready. Let me say that for free. Haters in the building. Hi, Aiden. The haters because they ain't us. 100%, brother. Thank you, Leeds One channel. Shout out to you, Brett, boy. Shout out to you, Brett. Shout out to you, my man. Let's have a look at some of your comments, everybody. Has says, it's just an extremely lazy opinion that we're going down. It just comes down to arrogance of the Premier League clubs in their little bubble. Mate, I 100% agree. 100% agree. And I didn't want to come on here and do this. I didn't want to come here and do it. I wanted to come on, but the content is, I'm scrolling on social media. I'm scrolling everywhere. I'm having pals text me, are you going straight back down? Why? Why are we going straight back down? It's just, it's arrogance. It's absolute arrogance. It's this closed shop approach that Sky have been peddling, that ESPN have been peddling, even though the irony is Sky have effectively done this with how they've structured everything. When it comes to parachute payments, when it comes to trickle-down effect, when it comes to that closed-off approach. Okay? But I believe like Fulham fans believe, like Bournemouth fans believe, like Forest fan believes, like Villa fans believe, like Brighton fans believe. Yeah? I believe. I look at this year's recruitment. I look at Ipswich. I look at the overhaul they had to do, right? And they still finished 18th with effectively a League One side, but some decent signings. Not the greatest recruitment, in my opinion, but still some good signings, okay? I met the Ipswich chairman, okay? He was on the crest of a wave in Miami. Absolutely loving life, the Ipswich chairman, when I met him. But he knew it was going to be a tough task. We're going up, in my opinion. I think it would have been better last season because we had Jorginho Rutter, we had Archie Gray, we had Somerville. We had a lot of players that were adaptable to the Premier League, in my opinion, right? We did. But now we look at this season, and as I keep mentioning, everybody, football's not linear. Football isn't linear. And we might have to sell some players for PSR. That might have to happen. But we've also given ourselves a massive helping hand with January, with not spending, and going into this financial season right now where Leeds can spend big. Parag would not be coming on after the game and effectively saying, look, we've been preparing for this. We know what we're going to do. You know, we know what we're going to do. And the last time we went up, come on, it was Marcelo Bielsa, wasn't it? Let's be honest. The whole structure was Bielsa. Everything was Bielsa. You know, there was nothing behind the scenes. Leeds hadn't prepared for it. They didn't expect it. It's different now. Feels different for me. Mickey says, we can both say stay up. Goldbridge is clueless. He swapped clubs to get more views. He's not a Man United fan. He's irrelevant, and so are his opinions. I mean, he's been on this channel before, to be honest, mate. So we'll have to wait and see if he comes back on. But Jez says, our sponsorship with RB was big in the Championship than most of the Premier League. Exactly, mate. Exactly. If Nottingham Forest can do it, why can't we? I agree with you. Connor says, thanks for the content, Connor. Been great going through this rollercoaster of a season with you. Still doesn't feel real that we've actually gone and done it. And this is it, bro. We've done it, haven't we? It's unbelievable. But do you know why we're so excited? We're all so excited because there's hope. There's almost prosperity there. There's ambition. There's excitement. And it's just been quelled at the minute by these absolute donuts who don't think that we can do it. We can't go near it. We're not good enough. We're not big enough. Oh, yeah, relegate them already. It's such a lazy opinion. And I can't wait to go up there. And let's see. Let's see if we punch them in the nose. Let's see. And if we do go up and we do punch them in the nose, I'm going to be there for it. Bookmark City. Absolute bookmark City. Paul's in the building. Hi, Paul. I see it took Scum fans less than an hour to start talking to Paul. I put it on socials, mate. I put it on socials. Already, 12 hours after Leeds United were promoted, Manchester United, the biggest club in the world, the best club in world football, are tweeting about little old Leeds United. Don't forget that, when they're in the Champions League 10, 12, 15 years ago, 25 million years ago, and in the Champions League, and they're going to Madrid and Milan and singing about Leeds, but they don't care about us. Never forget, Man United don't care about us. They never do. Don't care about little Leeds United. We only care about them, apparently. They'll tweet about us. I've had about 54 messages from Man United fans in this past 24 hours. I've had voice notes. I've had picture messages. I've had them all from Man United fans. They don't care about us, though. They don't care about us. You better hope you upgrade that form next season, because we don't have to be brilliant to take 3 points off you. Let's wait and see. But there you go. You can already tell. Are they tweeting about Burnley? No, they're not. They're tweeting about Leeds United. So we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what happens. That's the excitement of it. The excitement of it is Leeds United are back, and Leeds United cause a stir. We always have done. They hate us because they ain't us. You all know it. Nathan Parker says the amount of nearly signings we had last time out in the Prem probably didn't come off because of the financing with Rads and Co. 49ers and Red Bull will have the finances to get these over the line, 100%. Mike says Auto was hit and miss with signings. Cree, Raff, Rutter, etc. The good ones he found. Should have kept us scouting and kept away from contracts and financials. Mark says, according to Forbes, the investment arm... Oh, sorry, Mark. Just let me... Is that promotion? I think it is. Don't worry, I won't do it. The investment arm are worth a staggering $5.97 billion and are the richest sports entity on the globe at the time that the figure was estimated. 100%, mate. Lloyd says, yeah, we have bigger backers than the clubs that have gone up recently. The 49ers seem like adapting. Cass says, I think I mentioned before, but all my mates who are in the Prem teams think we're going to go. They don't know, mate. They haven't got a clue. It's such an easy opinion, isn't it? I'd have loved to have heard what they said about when Fulham and Bournemouth and Forest came up. Do you reckon they all thought that they would all stay up, or even one of them would stay up? No way. They'd have all said they're all going back down. It's easy. Neville saying it, Carragher saying it, you'll have Micah Richards saying it. And shout out to Simon Jordan. Love that from Simon Jordan. It's not just Leeds. I know Si's got a bit of a soft spot for Leeds United, but Burnley as well. And he's bang on the money. 2 very good defences this year in the Championship. What do you want to do when you go up? You don't want to play your free-flowing football and lack of tactical, when you're going up and you're not tactically flexible, i.e. your Russell Martins, your Vincent Kompany. I keep mentioning these two, but yeah, you do have to look at these two. You're going up, you're not being flexible, you're not adapting, you're going to go straight back down. You're going to get picked off. You can't do it. You can't do what Wilder did with overlapping centre-backs. You can't do what Bielsa did with the 4-1-4-1. You can't do it anymore. The Premier League has evolved even more because of the absolute trickle-down bullshit bollocks approach that is in the Premier League right now. The money is getting greater and greater and greater. So you have to go up there. You have to invest properly. You have to have the proper manager who can adapt, which we've seen in recent history. And you also have to have the right level of recruitment. And there's so many examples. There's so many examples of teams over, you look at even Sheffield United, who've just ended up in the playoffs. You look at their recruitment. They went up in 23, 24? Sander Berger and Illiman and Jai were pipped off them in the summer. Did Heckingbottom adapt? I'm not sure, to the Premier League. They then conceded 104 goals. And they all blame that on Jayden Bogle. It's all Jayden Bogle's fault, apparently. But do you know what I mean? You go up, you adapt, good recruitment, you give yourself a chance. Said all year that LCFC were going down, owned by oligarchs with no money. Ipswich had a League One team before the season, had a major media. Yeah, it's so lazy, brother. Tristan says, would you back Leeds if they went in a higher Jose Mourinho? I'm not sure that would happen, mate. I'm not sure that would happen. Connor, will we miss the excitement of the Championship? No, mate. Why would you miss the Championship, brother? Jason says beers and shit. What I will say about the Championship, most entertaining league in the world. Unbelievable. Always up for, look at right now. Playoffs up for grabs. Bottom 3 up for grabs. Promotion was up for grabs the other day. Championship is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Yeah, it completely is. Premier League's crap. but you need to be up there if you're Leeds United. You need to be up there. And imagine if we did like a Forest. Imagine if you did a Villa. The euphoria would be unbelievable. Joe says, as a Leicester fan, Connor Rude is a man. Yeah, shout out to you, Joe. I've noticed you in here before, mate. Hey, Connor, just starting to feel hungry. Yeah, I've seen that, Tony. Chris, James says, cheers for your donation as well the other day, James. I like a Prem club and we'll stay a Prem club. Owners will give us the best chance. Completely agree with that. Ken says, they rode the luck on our last trip to OT. We're 1-0 up and Martinez should have been sent off for raking Paddy's head. We will relegate. What will relegate Leeds is VAR screwed us. The thing is, you've just got to make sure you're within the margins, mate. I think VAR swings back and forward. I don't believe in this whole notion that it favors the big clubs. I don't think that personally. You guys might disagree. I don't think it just favors the big six. I don't think that. And it works across the season. I think a lot of the top clubs do get it against them as well throughout the season, if I'm honest with you, apart from Liverpool. No. Colton says, Newcastle 8, Sheffield United 0. Shout out to you, Colton. I think you've been in the comments, mate, talking about Leeds. You're happy that we've come back up. That sweet sucking taste of promotion is in that bottle. Mate, I've got a, what have we got next? We've got a Maritz. We're going all night again. I don't care. I'm enjoying myself. It's been a stressful 3 months. I don't care. I don't care. Lucas says, I'm looking forward to having you guys back in the Premier League. I think you're going to stay up. That's the thing, brother. I love that. Love that. I've kept Leeds in the Prem on FIFA. Why can't Farker? Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. Got Sheffield United fans in here as well. Forest 3rd, Newcastle 4th as well, says Colton. Anything can happen. Kershaw says too many clubs come up and bite you. Kershaw, you bang on there, mate. You absolutely bang on the money. You know, this is why, mate, I was so against, and it's a bit divisive, but I was so against, like, Armstrong. You look at Armstrong. By the way, how's Armstrong done at West Bromwich Albion? Was that 2 goals that he scored since Jan? And it's context applied as well. You know, Armstrong in the Leeds side will have probably scored more goals. Of course he would. But the hype and, you know, the wages that we'd have probably had to get him on, because Southampton wouldn't have allowed us to get away with probably what they've got West Brom on in terms of wage structure. No way. Because I know Leeds are a richer club. But Cameron Archer, I was never in for it. I was never in for it because there'd have had to have been an obligation for Archer. And I don't want that in the Premier League. This is why I went against it so much. And I was like, just don't sign anyone. If you're going to sign anyone, go sign a keeper, right? And they just put Darlow. And I was saying in Jan, I think everybody was saying in Jan, just put Darlow in and we'll see what happens. And that's what we've done. And look where we are right now. Leeds look transformed in the last 4 games, in my opinion, when he's been in. Transformed. And it's been a big difference. Big difference. And as I keep saying, that had been made on the 24th of October after Sunderland. Leeds United, I swear to God, would have probably won this league by about 15 points. Swear to God. Charlie's off to bed. March on together. Where's the jack? I don't know if you can hear it, mate. I don't know if you can hear it when it's come on. I don't know. Everyone was saying it. Hi, Connor. Just getting over the hangover. It was worth it, though. Lee, get back on it, lad. Come on. Soft lad. Come on. Sujal says, forget this nonsense about going straight back down. Enjoy. 2 more games to go, 100 points. This is it, Sujal. Bring us back down, man. Bring us back down. Leeds are going up, baby. Enjoy it. Yes, Sujal. Bang on. I had to come out and dispel some of this rubbish that I've been seeing today. But exactly, Sujal. Good man. Well, thank you for joining me. Please leave a like on the video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Check out the video from today. Sujal's become a member. We've got loads of other members on the Patreon as well. I'm going to enjoy myself tonight. Can you hear it? This is going to be a new intro, I think. Do you want it to be a new intro? That's it, everybody. I will see you on the other side. Cheers.